Okay, I went too far. What else we got? The trailer for Ocean Gate. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, yeah. I wanted to watch this. So, Charlie Kirk attempted basic gotcha questions with a Cambridge student. The student replied that Kirk was a sellout and uneducated on foreign policy, prompting cheers from the audience. And then Charlie Kirk posted this, though. Wait, it's not showing. On my phone, it's showing that this is like the clip Charlie posted. Maybe there's another one.
So can you tell me what African countries currently...
Group chat drama. White Sox crashed out and removed everyone that's affiliated with Randy Zoomer from the Groyper group chat. What group chat? What Groyper group chat? White Sox crashed out and removed everyone that's affiliated with Randy Zoomer from the Groyper group chat. Who's White Sox? Sox? Oh, yeah, W Sox. We're on Sox side there, 100%. W Sox. Okay, anyway.
Currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan.
Not really. He was acting like a baby. All right. Well, we're on Sox side, 100%. And Dalton side, 1000%. Okay, back to this.
So can you tell me what African countries currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan. Because
Okay,
I'm
good.
not an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you've supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country, I'm sure.
Dude, this guy... Oh, wait, this is... Okay, wait. When I saw... Charlie Kirk posted this and said, Charlie takes down extremely bouncy student at Cambridge. That's him. That's the dude with the... Yo, that's the dude with the crazy hair. Let's go.
The final question that we've got time for today is from Sammy McDonald from St. John's College.
That's a proper Brit right there. Am I right?
Good evening, Mr. Kirk. You've obviously devoted a lot of your life to electing, keeping in power Donald Trump.
Sorry, Jack, we get it. You're a Randy Zoomer stan, but we're all on Sox side, 100,000%. And yeah.
And you did so partly because you said Trump would put Americans first and take them out of foreign conflicts. Should we see how that is going at the moment? Currently, Trump has just accepted a $400 million debt from Qatar, which we're assured is perfectly above board. Billions in arms are going to Saudi Arabia, which they're using to bomb and starve Yemeni children. Not sure how that's in the interest of the United States, but it might be in the interest of the $5.5 billion deal his failed sons are receiving. At the same time, this great president of peace has greenlit mass killings not just in Yemen, but in Gaza, where he greenlit an invasion called Operation Gideon's Chariot, with the express aim of wiping out the Gazan population. You promised to put America first. Haven't you and your ilk sold America out?
Ooh. Okay, W actually, let's fucking go. Yo, let's go. Welcome.
No.
Well, I'm glad you have great intellectual substance and can answer. Because it's all the culture wars for you, isn't it? The second someone actually
Bro is spurging out on Charlie Kirk.
Can you calm down a little bit? Like,
Spurg out on his ass.
pounding the table, you're all over the place. No. You want me to go piece by piece? Or would you like me to talk slower?
I think you can...
Number one, Donald Trump is convening a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. Joe Biden gave them armaments.
That's going well, isn't it?
It's going well. Can you not interrupt me?
Well.
I allowed you to talk uninterrupted.
You're famous for not interrupting.
Yeah, I haven't interrupted a single person here today. Can I speak uninterrupted?
Wait,
actually?
you don't have to ban S.O. Groyper.
He is convening.
He's saying W. Tyler Russell because this guy's a redhead. He's like, that's not like. He's just saying that because the dude Charlie Kirk's debating is like a redhead that's bouncing.
Peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. I believe we will see an end to that war.
Good.
Number two, he's actually talking to Iran and discouraging Israel to strike the interior of Iran, and has stopped many other international countries to do the same. Number three, can you give him credit for ending the Indian-Pakistan war?
Both of them said he didn't do that.
Well, hold on a second.
Let's go back.
No, that's important.
Russia, Ukraine.
Hold on, that's important.
Can I speak now?
Yes, but the Indian-Pakistan thing, you got to go deeper than that.
Let's go in order. Is a peace summit where the main person in question, Russia, doesn't show up, is that a success, Mr. Kirk?
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure.
Is that a success?
Well, again, these are ongoing negotiations, and it's a lot better than when your Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, went alongside our Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, to Istanbul and unnecessarily blew up a potential Russian peace deal, which has resulted in hundreds of thousands of dead Ukrainians, one of the great unnecessary wars of the modern era. Donald Trump believes in conversation and police through strength. He has been president for well over 120 to 130 days, and he has already ended a war between two nuclear conflicts of India-Pakistan. He has secured our own U.S. southern border while we were being invaded by foreign powers. And thirdly, he is brokering a potential settlement with Iran that will prevent a major escalation in the Middle East. And finally, it is very difficult, but I believe they'll get it done, that will finally see an end to the Russian-Ukrainian war.
I'm just going to disagree.
Guy looks kind of freaky. He does look kind of freaky. He's got like crazy red lips and like his hair's going
enormous lies.
Insane. Bro, Loki looks retarded. Also, what? Yo. What is bro thinking back there? What the fuck?
You just put out there about Russia and Ukraine. Okay. But do you really think leverage, negotiations work if you cut off all your leverage and scream at one party in the Oval Office? Don't you think that has just emboldened Russia? Because look at the approach. Putin thinks so much of your glorious president.
Sorry, Jack, nobody cares.
He can't even be asked to show up. You have elected or help elect somebody who is at best an idiot and at worst is deeply corrupt.
Okay, again, so Trump and Putin had a 2-hour phone call today. You'll acknowledge that's a good thing. The pursuit of peace can sometimes be a winding road, and it's a lot better than sending hundreds of billions of dollars further into the killing fields of eastern Ukraine, something that tragically both the UK government and the US government has been
I love that this guy can't sit still, that he's just like ready to spurg out on Charlie Kirk at any moment.
Necessarily supporting for a couple of years. President Trump wants to see a brokerage, an ending of this settlement. I pray we can get it. It's very complicated because of the mess that Joe Biden left, which was an active kinetic war with a nuclear power sending American-made missiles into the interior of Russia. So President Trump has already ended a war. He's ended an invasion. He's only 130 days into this. And I believe, we do not know. At this point, we are merely speculating, which I think we should not spend our time doing that, because eventually one of us will be right. I believe we'll be right, and I believe we'll see an end to this war.
We just talk about 100 billions worth of weapons, because you dodged my question on what was going on in the Middle East, where Trump has just signed enormous arms contracts with Saudi Arabia and with Qatar. And I noticed you ignored the fact that this might have had anything to do with the blatant corruption going on through the Trump coin and going on through giving the very competent sons of Donald Trump billions of investment from Saudi Arabia and Qatar. This is something that is directly embroiling Americans into conflict, but is importantly killing many innocent people. Those nations
had a maple bar. That sounds so good.
So if you're coming to me and you're objecting to America selling weaponry, why are you defending?
Then you God of Conquest.
91 sent $3. Jonathan Greenblatt and the ADL are blaming Hassan Piker for the Israeli diplomat shooting. Link.
Yeah, I know. No, I know. We haven't seen that yet. We can watch that right now. We'll get into that in a second. We'll get into the rest of this. Oh, this isn't even the clip. ADL CEO Jonathan Greenblatt accused streamer Hassan Piker of provoking the Jewish Capitol Museum shooting by a pro-Palestinian activist and called for him to be deplatformed. He called him a gamer streamer. He said there's a gamer streamer on Twitch. But yeah, I've seen that. Thank you for the 3. I appreciate it. Big shout out. We'll get to that. I have a whole clip. I just wanted to watch this guy cook Charlie Kirk first.
Ending shilling for the Saudis.
Well, hold on.
Bro's got happy little hands. Yeah, a little bit.
Secondly, you do know that the biggest purchase that was announced was
when a short king gets the jitters. The world's in fear.
Commercial airliner 737, $100 billion. We've heard of Qatar Airways. They purchased $100 billion of commercial airways.
The world
you are
shivers.
right. There were some weapons contracts, but I guess the question is: would you rather have Saudi Arabia buy weapons from America or China?
I'd rather they not have American weaponry at cut price rates.
See, I disagree.
Let's talk about Qatar for a second.
Okay, fine.
You mentioned Qatar. You've been talking a lot about Hamas and the evils of Hamas. Can I ask you, who's the main funder of Hamas?
Well,
Yo, he did a little hop.
The evils of Hamas. Can I ask you, who's the main funder of Hamas?
Well, the Palestine... Well, the West actually funds Hamas.
Which state?
Well, Iran funds...
No.
Also,
where are the Hamas leaders?
little jump.
Where are the Hamas leaders? Funds Hamas.
Yes.
It is a combination of international relief organizations.
Is this a state we should have a 400 million jet with the President of the United States on it?
Hold on. First of all, it was not given to him personally. I understand the optics of it, but it was not given to him personally. It was given to the U.S. government. And under that standard, no U.S. government should ever receive any gifts from any foreign countries whatsoever. It's not given to him personally and not a violation of the...
Then why is he trying to transfer it to his personal library? He is.
Actually, okay, he sent out a statement. This is way too in the weeds. If you want to keep on going, we can.
It's not in the weeds. It's a fundamental moral principle.
Okay, so under that fundamental moral principle, then, can you...
Is that real? Okay, is Trump trying to add it to his personal library so he can keep it after he's out of office? Is that real? That's so funny if that's true.
Acknowledge, though, that
that's
President
so
Trump is getting
crazy.
more done in a less period of time than any president we've seen, while
Yeah,
our prior
probably.
president was
He
not,
gave
did
them
not
4
even
billion
know what year he
quid.
got elected.
He
You
gave them
understand the
4
contrast.
billion
What about
quid.
again? I'm not a defender
No,
of
I'm
Biden.
not saying President Trump is far better
You
than
have
the
to
predecessor.
defend the person you spent millions to elect.
I will defend every day of someone who ends an invasion.
That's all you do, isn't it?
Brings down the price of oil, who is revitalizing the American economy, who's brokering peace, who stopped the potential nuclear war, who is bringing Iran to the table and bringing Russia to the table, someone who does not want armed conflicts with the greatest powers of our time. I will defend that endlessly. What are you defending?
In a fantasy world of your own creation. So it's quite hard
You
to
can say
engage
that,
with.
but then disprove
But
it.
let's check on how Trump is doing in terms of diplomacy.
Oh.
Look, with the war in the Middle East, do you
gonna
think it
cook
was
him?
a defensible decision to tell the Israelis you wanted Trump gone?
Dude, this guy's face is crazy behind him. This guy, every time they show this angle and you see this dude, it's just like what the fuck is going on? He kind of looks like Anakin. He kind of looks like the Anakin actor if he was like in the second movie, you know what I mean? If he was like really freaky, if he was like a total freak, you know what I mean? Look at his face.
Gaza to agree for Israel to invade the Gaza Strip and to continue to murder thousands of innocent children and civilians in a pointless war.
Something about his
Is that in
gaze
America's
is
interest?
just
Is that in humanity's?
terrifying.
Well, first of all, you should know something about Trump. There's something, if you realize with Trump over the last 10 years, he is quite the social media user and uses hyperbolic language at times. But let me ask you, in the conflict of Israel versus Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas and the Israeli government are evil, but I think also that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification.
What do you say?
Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas and the Israeli government are evil, but I think also
Base.
that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification for the murder and mutilation of thousands of innocent people and children in a futile...
Dude, the little bounce. Bro's getting excited. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, he's saying that like it's a bad thing. They put extremely bouncy student in this like it's a bad thing. That's low-key aura. That's low-key. He's kind of got it, you know? He's passionate about them killing children and how that's wrong. Yeah, it's high energy. Yeah, he's got aura. He's low-key got aura here.
For bombing innocent populations
He's just
and
on
dragging
them.
out a war which is damaging Israel and the West's security.
You've made that point, but
Charlie debating Thom Yorke. Who's that? Is that the Green Day lead singer?
Sent $3, Charlie debating Thom Yorke.
That did the silhouette of him did kind of give that. I'm not gonna lie. He's got a crazy face, for real. This dude's trying to like show off his jawline. Bro's mewing.
Well, it's not a point, it's a moral truth, isn't it?
Yeah. It was also a moral truth that the war started because 1,300 Jews were killed and 200 were taken hostage. And when you declare war on Israel, expect a firestorm in reaction. Let me finish, I let you talk. Israel, at its holiest day of the calendar year besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War.
Why is an American saying that? Imagine me saying that about like France. Like, when you kill 100 French, expect a firestorm of baguettes killing you immediately. Yeah, that's not weird. That's not a little strange.
Let me finish. I like the moral truth that the war started because 1,300 Jews were killed and 200 were taken hostage. And when you declare
Charlie
war on
Kirk
Israel,
in Hogwarts.
expect a firestorm.
He's got all the Gringotts bankers clapping.
In reaction. Let me finish. I let you talk. Israel, at its holiest day of the calendar year, besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. On Shabbat, Hamas invaded Israel.
I like how the anniversary of the Six-Day War is a holy day. Yeah, that is crazy.
At its holiest day of the calendar year, besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. On Shabbat, Hamas invaded Israel, deciding to go recklessly to music concerts, to homes, to kibbutzes, and taking 200 plus hostages. They knew what they were doing. In one of the most cloistered urban environments on the planet, 2 million people live in a place where it's impossible to wage war. Impossible. Where they wear civilian clothing, they violate every tenet of the Geneva Convention, and the IDF, when they do something right, they get no credit. When they do life-saving surgeries of a Gazan child, they get no credit. When they drop leaflets, they get no credit. But when they happen to bomb a place where they are operating their military from, which we now know from third-party verified sources, hundreds of Hamas military operations are in mosques, schools, and hospitals. I'm sorry, the country where they were living in relative peace on October 6th, that all of a sudden we had a war, and Hamas started the war. And I don't see people that were really upset about the 2 million Germans that were killed in World War II, civilians. A tragic truth of war is that civilians die. I don't like it, and you don't like it. And they brought it upon themselves. The only operation that's easy to blame is the leadership of Hamas, not the Israeli government, for fighting this defensive war after they were invaded.
I'm no defender of the terrible pogrom that was launched against Jews on that day. But the justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who were not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble. And what is left for Gaza except for to continue to suffer under Hamas? Because it turns out Netanyahu's political strategy has not worked. It has entrenched Hamas within the territories. To be a Christian, I would have thought, Mr. Kirk, would never have involved suggesting that the price for an atrocity must be an infinite cycle of bloodlust, that innocent people and the young population
there's no limit to how
avenge some kind
much
of
they
providential
can avenge.
How can you call yourself a Christian? Well, you
They're
just
allowed to do anything they want
our
forever.
Clarity straight before we proceed. No one likes what's happening in Gaza.
Well, you must
no one
worship
with a heart
them.
or a soul or a mind likes when kids die. But you must understand who started the conflict so that you could end it correctly. And until Hamas brokers an unconditional surrender,
guy in the back really farming some sinister aura, dude. I know. Did you see that, dude? Dude, he's smirking. Dude, he literally is. Bro sat there to farm aura. Look at him.
Or a mind likes when kids die. But you must understand who started the conflict so that you could end it correctly. And until Hamas
being
brokers an unconditional surrender, of which they are unwilling to do, they could release the hostages and drop their weapons and their lives would be spared. Instead, they are using children of Gaza as cannon fodder, financed by the Iranian mullahs and dragging the entire world into this conflict. So I don't even know what we're debating at this point other than I believe that Israel, I believe the facts, Israel was unconditionally attacked on October 7th. They're responding in kind. And I would just ask you a very simple moral question. How should Israel have responded?
He's putting him on the rape list.
Not with the blanket carpet bombing of the city, not with bombing hospitals. Of course, some kind of military operation might have been necessary, but not murder on this scale. There is no justification for what is happening with the enormous death toll that is being produced. I really cannot see how you come here and you have the gall to lecture us on Christian morality and then sit here and justify the murder of thousands of civilians. And is it working, Mr. Kirk? Is Hamas dismantled?
I've never said that.
You just did.
Well, no,
this is your whole
thing. In war, these are called casualties of a war.
We're going to need to stop bringing this
again.
To close.
I'm not going to justify every military maneuver of a 100,000 person army. Instead, what I will do is I'll be clear that there is a good guy and there is a bad guy. I honestly...
Isn't that the morality of a child?
Well, instead... Well...
True!
It's interesting you say that.
True!
Because a child
True!
who knows that Israel is the good guy, Hamas is bad, has a lot more wisdom than a student like yourself at Cambridge University.
That was not a good comeback. That is... Dude, that's... Who is clapping for that? Like, they got the 3 Gringot bankers in the back, the goblins, going, woo, yeah, ooh. Actually, if a child thought like I thought, then they would be a lot smarter than you are.
We'll be glad.
Oh, you did not just go there, Charlie.
That I will not have been somebody who has
Good counter argument. Changed my mind, yeah.
defended the genocide of the Palestinian
He just went,
people.
no, you.
And
literally.
I think you will have to reckon one day that you have reckoned with.
Interesting. I want to close on this. So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan because I'm not an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asia?
And why are they in a civil war? And who's supporting the overthrowing of Sudan?
Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you.
Dude, none of these like gotchas even work on this guy. That's crazy. Honestly, I wouldn't know what he was talking about. I mean, I genuinely know about those conflicts, but just off of the hints he gave, I would not be able to say them.
You and the people you supported as corrupt,
Low-key,
as selling the country
I'd be
out
like,
to the lowest bidder and of doing irreparable damage to a country, I'm sure.
Well, no, I would have a good, my response would just be, well, is the American government facilitating the genocide happening in either of those? Or is Israel a specific case?
We all deep down love.
The difference,
you will have to reckon with that.
Difference
Mr. Kirk.
is when...
Insane that you would upload this like it made you look good. Just have to read hate comments on Charlie Kirk videos because he literally will post it like he won and then just act like he did. Well, let's just go to Charlie's Twitter too. Make sure to leave these. Charlie Kirk.
This was once a great, the glaring thing in front of us where we have...
Don't care. Did he post that one on Twitter?
Ask you, in the
oh yeah, right here, probably.
conflict of Israel, violate the most cloistered...
Dude, this does not have 65,000 likes.
Versus Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas and the Israeli government are evil, but I think also that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification for the murder and mutilation of thousands of innocent people and children in a futile...
Where it's impossible.
Dude, I love the jump.
The
jump is like height. Like I fuck with that heavy. I need like a standing desk.
Let's hear it out.
There is no justification, Mr.
Little bounce, yeah. I really do. I fuck with that heavy. I mean to say, Hector Navarro cooked his ass. True.
But
it's not a point, it's a moral truth, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Ron Weasley pounded
Kirk. The war
Kirk.
started because 1,300 Jews were killed and 200 were taken hostage. And when you declare war on Israel...
Dude, like, how are you posting that? How are you going to post you spurging out? Like, listen to that. Imagine I was saying that about another, like, any other country. Like, imagine I was just, like, heated and then threatening on behalf of another country. Like, when you fuck with Poland, expect big Polish dick to be fucking you back.
Expect a firestorm in reaction.
What? Like, what the fuck? Like, the Polish are dogs, dude. The Polish are fucking animals. Sorry, I just needed to counter that, because...
Let me finish, I let you talk. Israel, at its holiest day, of the calendar year besides Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah, Samat Torah, the 50-year anniversary of the Six-Day War. On Shabbat, Hamas invaded Israel, deciding to go recklessly to music concerts, to homes, to kibbutzes, and taking 200 plus hostages. They knew what they were doing. In one of the most cloistered urban environments on the planet, 2 million people live in a place where it's impossible to wage war. Impossible. Where they wear civilian clothing, they violate.
Seth in the cozy chat says, Polska mentioned! With bottles being popped. Woo! True. All right, wait, where was I? Wait,
every tenet of the Geneva Convention and the IDF.
Oh, they went to the kibbutzes. I know.
When they do life-saving surgeries of a Gazan child,
leave the kibbutzes out of this, please.
They get no credit. But when they happen to bomb a place where they are operating their military from, which we now know from third-party verified sources, hundreds of Hamas military operations are in mosques, schools, and hospitals. I'm sorry, the country where they were living in relative peace on October 6th.
Thank you for the 5.
All of a sudden,
come Queen. Big shout out, Come Queen with the 5.
Queen sent $5. I keep thinking of this while Kirk was talking.
And for those of you that say, well, it really doesn't impact me, I don't care if Trump goes to prison. Well, first of all, you absolutely should care. Because if we lose, they're going to come after the churches, they're going to come after the organizations, they're going to come after the people, they're going to come after the social media accounts, they're going to come after the bank accounts.
Bad but true.
They're going to come after every single person that played any form and role into trying to defend President Trump.
His awesome
social media
banning,
face. Following in the streets, targeting in every form and fashion. If we lose, if the president loses, they will come for us all. They will come for your children, they will come for your schools.
Have a suicide plan.
Every fashion. And they won't stop. They are going to do whatever
have a plan to try to kill yourself before they can get you.
And intergenerationally destroy Donald Trump. That's how much they hate him. They hate him not because of his tweets, not because of his style. They hate him because all of their
shit, he's got brain force.
Have been put in jeopardy. They're going
from the Umbrella Corp
with blood-thirsty revenge.
Bro is snorting brain force.
Says, quote,
if you love birds, you'd never want to walk under a windmill because it's a very sad, sad sight.
We are intrinsically tied to the president. He's with us. He's for us. I've called him the bodyguard of Western civilization. And boy, is he taking the body blows for us right now. But if they come for him, they're coming for us.
Is his face shrinking?
Me. This is where it's headed. If Donald Trump loses, you can expect every level of power.
Dude, those paintings are so... Those are so funny.
If we lose in November, it's going to be bedlam. That if they get power back, they're going to lock him up, and they're going to continue until they have absolute pathological power over our country.
They have that on Swamp Cinema.
As always, freedom@charliekirk.com, freedom@charliekirk.com. Make sure you check out my interview with Ken Owens, author of Blackout. Phenomenal episode. Please consider supporting us at charliekirk.com/support. charliekirk.com/support. Please consider supporting us at Turning Point USA and getting involved with Turning Point USA in the culture war. TPUSA.com, TPUSA.com. If you guys want to win a signed copy of the Mag Doctor, type in Charlie Kirk to your podcast provider. Hit subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. Screenshot it. Email us. freedom@charliekirk.com. freedom@charliekirk.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. God bless you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Charlie. On the 4chan cinema server of the Gary's Mod 4chan cinema server, Swamp Cinema, they have a giant Trump tower, and it has cool stuff. If you go up in it, it has like Nick's old studio in it, and then it has like the Joker studio and stuff in it. But on the ground floor, they've had this forever, but it's got like all these different boomer pictures like hung up as paintings in the lobby of like Jesus versus Satan, and then it's like Trump like with Jesus and Hillary with Satan. So good. They're beautiful works of art, for real. Impressive stuff.
And we had a war, and Hamas started the war. And I don't see people that were really upset about the 2 million Germans that were killed in World War II, civilians. A tragic truth of war is that civilians die. I don't like it, and you don't like it. And they brought it upon themselves. The only operation and entity to blame is the leadership of Hamas, not the Israeli government, for fighting this defensive war after they were invaded.
No matter what they do.
There is a good guy, and there is a bad guy. I honestly...
Isn't that the morality of a child?
Well, well...
You know, okay, on some level, I mean, that's still not even true because of how they're pursuing the war and also the motives of the war and like why, you know. But also it's like, it's not even conspiratorial. It's like there are Israeli historians and Israelis that would admit that the Israelis backed Hamas against the non-religious secular government that was rising, the Palestinian Authority. They literally assassinated the Palestinian Authority leaders in the 80s and 90s, and then promoted Hamas, which was a, you know, radical fundamentalist, like, religious organization, because they wanted it. I mean, now they might disagree about why they were doing that, but, like, obviously because a secular state will think rationally, won't result to, like, holy war if they're being attacked, like, wouldn't turn into a terrorist wing. So if you were going to have to cleanse them, you would just have to be bombing, like, innocent civilians, like, just straight up a civilian population with no combatants in it at all. And they could never do that. So instead, they promoted Hamas, who they knew would continuously be more and more zealous with their holy war against Israel, so that they can justify any action against the Gaza Strip. Like, that's also, like, a huge thing. Because, like, on some level, like, you know, if it really was just, like, Muslims attacking another state and they're, like, inside a city, like, it is true. It would be hard to attack just the, you know, the attackers and whatever. Like, that is whatever. Now, they're going way beyond that, obviously. Like, they're bombing everything, and they're, like, barely even killing Hamas because they're just actually trying to take the Strip. But it's like, that's not the only issue. Also, they supported Hamas because they wanted to do that, which makes the whole thing like a premeditated genocide. Like, literally, what else is that? You support Hamas over the Palestinian Authority, the secular government that's willing to have negotiations and is willing to go to the United Nations and have delegations and, you know, make deals with the rest of the world. You assassinate the leadership of that, promote the fundamentalist religious zealots that hate you, and then when they attack you, you genocide and bomb, you know, like a tiny city with 2 million people in it. That's premeditation. I mean, that's where it's like, okay, you're guilty, obviously, of anything you do. Anyway, okay. Next.